What, today?
I mean, do you go back today?
What do you,
Yeah.
oh yeah, today, 3 o'clock, or it's 4 or something.
And you work from 4 until what?
10?
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. I think I got 5 people who have messaged me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
All of them said to say hi to Rudy.
Very good.
So, obviously, they like Rudy.
Well, like is a subjective word.
Maybe one day they'll like me as
The-
much as they like you.
They like you Monday and they hate you on Thursday, so don't get comfortable. I can say something tomorrow and they'll be like, that motherfucking Rudy.
Morning, Henry.
What's up, hen? Hen dog? That's my boy.
Yeah, I know.
I've been knowing him ever since I was about, when I met him, I must have been about maybe 10.
Shit, I haven't seen Uncle Dean since I was fucking 10.
Really?
Uh-huh. My mom's death. Last time I saw him. Or funeral or some shit, I think. He ended up in jail. Actually.
Oh, this tastes so good. Oh my God, this tastes good.
For weed.
Hey, Henry, man, when you get a chance, one day, maybe next week, come on by and bring your guitar. Or I'll come to you, either way.
What are you gonna play?
Bass.
Oh, is that what you play?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I play bass, I play drums.
Yeah, I never really got into the guitar.
It's a beautiful instrument, man. Just practicing music is good for your
Mental.
and your consciousness, because where does music come from? When guys make up songs that they've never heard before, where does that come from?
Somewhere.
Exactly. So when you're working with music, especially when you're making up new music,
He says, cool, let's play this weekend.
good. When you're making new music that nobody's ever heard before, it's got to come from somewhere. So it comes from that inner consciousness. Especially if you make something that everybody likes. You're like, oh yeah, really in tune.
I don't think anybody's ever made anything that everyone likes.
Well, no, of course not. Of course not.
That's pretty much impossible.
But you can make something that the majority of people like.
A good portion of people like, yeah.
When you get to certain artists like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones.
Even then, there's a lot of people who do not like the Beatles.
Yeah.
From your age. My dad never listened to the Beatles.
Yeah, of course there are. There's no universal that everybody likes all the time.
But he was a very much, if they smoke weed, or they do drugs, shouldn't be supporting them because they're bad influences. Well,
You wouldn't be supporting anybody then.
He's a huge fan of Eric Clapton.
Oh, Eric Clapton. Yeah, I saw Cream at least 5 times.
Was it true that he disappeared for years? Because of heroin?
Oh, that's possible. It wasn't for like a long time, though. It wasn't like 10 years, nothing like that.
No.
Might have just been a year or 2.
Yeah, a year or 2.
Yeah, all those guys from England at one time or another were on cocaine and heroin, or both, or some, one or the other. Because that's what I be trying to tell people. Like I thought, you were shocked that I said I did cocaine at one time. See, back when I was coming up, nobody knew what cocaine was. When you found out what cocaine was, you were doing it. You understand what I'm saying? Because everything was new. That was all new shit. So nobody had any information on how bad it was or how good it was. So you didn't have that fear of it. You try it, because you saw other people trying it. They didn't die. Okay, I'll try it. And the first time you do it, it's like heaven. It's like you busted the best nut out of your life. You be like, oh, you love everything. It's the most beautiful shit that ever happened to you. And you'll never get that feeling again, but you'll always be trying to get it. That's the problem with that drug.
Same with the heroin, isn't it? Chasing the dragon.
Yeah, but heroin brings out more of a negative.
I mean, coke.
Let me put it this way. Somebody addicted to marijuana or cocaine or any of the other drugs, they're not looking to do evil to anybody. Their mind doesn't go there. But when you do the dark drugs, heroin and quaaludes and all that kind of shit, your mind can go there and you can do some stupid shit. Or never be the same again.
What do you mean? I'm so confused.
What
So
do you
you're telling me people don't get violent on alcohol and cocaine?
Not everybody. No.
And then the same with heroin. Not everyone gets violent on heroin. Most people
Well,
just...
you're not going to get... You get violent on heroin when you can't get it.
Yeah, because it's addictive.
You're right. It's more than mentally addictive. It's physically addictive.
so is
That's
cocaine.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It may not be on the same level as heroin, but cocaine is physically addicting. The only drug that's not physically addicting
What I'm
is
saying,
cannabis.
what I'm saying is to get off of cocaine, you don't go through physical pain.
If you do it all the time, you do.
No,
Yes, you do.
it's all psychological, dude. No, it's not. How many times you done cocaine?
Okay.
Listen
If
to
you're
me.
doing the cocaine like a heroin addict's doing heroin, then yes, when you come off of it, like if you try to stop drinking sugar right now, you'll feel like shit for 2 weeks.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to my knowledge, okay?
All right.
A heroin addict that can't get heroin is very pitiful. It's unbelievably horrible. When you try to get off of cocaine, you desire it. Your mind wants it, but your body does not crave it. So if you don't get it, your body aches. With heroin, after you're addicted to it, when you don't get it, your body aches. Literally, every
Yeah,
joint.
I know. It's the same as fucking coming off of sugar.
Well, I don't know
fucking
about that.
flu.
I don't know about that.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know about coming off of sugar. I'm just saying, tell you about heroin.
I understand that, but it's the same fucking goddamn...
Heroin.
But you're not understanding it's the same fucking triggers.
It might be.
No, it is. They're
Okay.
proving that it is.
Okay, it
It's
is.
dopamine. Sugar kicks on dopamine because
Yes.
your body is like, oh, this is instant energy. I need more of this.
Yes.
Because I constantly need to get instant energy because there's a chance I won't find any energy for a month.
Yeah, but see, like I said before, it's harder on you when you try to quit heroin than cocaine.
I understand that, but then there's a bunch of people that'll say it's just a fucking goddamn flu. And the flu can suck. Yes, it is. That's what equivalent of your body is basically just doesn't have the
Well,
dopamine.
if you said that somebody had been addicted to heroin and got off of it, they'd be laughing at you right now because they went through it. There's a big difference.
When's the last time you had an actual flu? Like 2 weeks, like a real flu. Not this fucking, oh, I caught the flu that I had last year, so I had a sniffles for a day. But the real flu where you're shitting your brains out and you're puking and you're sweating every fucking night for 4 nights straight. It's the same fucking thing.
Let me tell you something, dude. Let me tell you something. About 10 years ago, I had
Catch this.
I had a bout with the flu that was unbelievable for 2 weeks.
Yo, Dagga.
I didn't eat for 5 days. I didn't sleep for 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
I had it that bad.
Mhm.
I was hallucinating.
Mhm.
There were aliens in the room with me.
That's from not eating, but
Okay.
yes.
Right, well, I couldn't eat.
I'm just saying.
My
when you
body
don't
said-
eat for 5 days, you hallucinate.
Exactly. So I had a terrible bout with it. That was the worst flu I ever had. I thought I was going to die. I'll be very honest with you. I thought I was going to die.
Right?
But I've never been addicted to heroin, so I have never had to come off of it like that. I only did heroin 2 or 3 times.
I know.
But people that were addicted to it, I helped 2 or 3 people get
You
off
know what the
heroin.
difference between heroin and the flu is? If you take more heroin, the symptoms go away instantly. There's nothing you can do when you have the flu but deal with it.
That's right. Well, they have
That's the difference.
Well,
So-
they do have medicines
So why
now.
is it so fucking hard? I know now, but I'm just saying, like, if you get the like you're in a house by yourself, you get the bad flu, you're gonna be gone. You're dead. You're a week. You're just like shit. The difference is a heroin addict has to deal with that thought that I can just make this go away now. So yes, in that theory, it is harder because they know that there's a pill or a thing. It'd be like having the flu and not taking Theraflu.
Listen to me.
What?
Listen to me, young upstart.
Stop. You know I ain't young, right?
Yeah, you are. Well, naive. I'll put you naive.
Okay.
I mean, you can sit here and tell me they're alike, but a person that went through it, what I was told when I try to help people get off of it, that every bone in their body ached, every joint.
Again.
Flu isn't like that.
Yes, it is.
It wasn't for me.
Again.
It wasn't for
You
me.
didn't have, depending on the flu. Body aches are definitely a symptom of flu. Like if you look up the symptoms, body aches, sweats, throat. If you look up the symptoms of heroin removal, it's the same fucking thing. It's the same basic thing.
I think the heroin...
difference is one of them can be cured instantly. So you got a person who knows that they can get rid of these symptoms in a minute, constantly thinking in their head, all I have to do is hit it one more time and I won't feel like this anymore. Where a flu person is just dealing with it because there's nothing you can do except let your body deal with the flu itself.
I've had the flu.
And you won't die.
I've had the flu 2 or 3. Oh, the flu can kill you.
No, I meant you're not going to die from heroin, like getting off of heroin.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I mean,
let me tell you.
You die in your puke and shit, I guess.
Let me tell you, dude. Every bone in your body. I've had the flu and every bone in my body didn't ache.
Because your immune system's good
Hand
enough to
me
stop
that.
that from happening.
Hand me that. So put that stuff in.
You know what I'm saying?
The screams and the help me please, save me that you hear from a heroin addict, dude.
I get it.
It's like, you're like, wow. And you gotta ignore that. That's the part. You gotta ignore it. Because for their own good, they gotta get off of it.
Because again, if you told someone that had the flu that all they had to do was take this pill and they would feel better the next minute, they would do the same fucking thing. They would take the pill in an instant. So that's what a heroin addict is going through. They're dealing with a flu that they know they can cure in a minute. So again, what would you do if you were feeling like shit with the flu and you had Theraflu sitting there and you know it's going to make you feel better instantly? You're not going to take it? So again, I'm not saying it's not hard to quit heroin, and I'm not saying it's a challenge. There are ways to get around that. Ibocaine's a good way. If we actually had Ibocaine clinics in this country,
man, I'm talking about
helping people get off of fucking.
See, I'm talking about back when it wasn't considered to be a disease. It was considered to be a pariah. You know, now it's considered a disease. They don't really punish people like they did back in the 60s and 70s. People. Well, back in the 60s and 70s, they did.
I know, because they're fucking dumb. Back in the 60s and 70s, they literally... No, flip it back. That's the one you just pulled off. It's the BI over there. Put that over there. So, they had this again, just like the Bible was written back in the day to control people, the drug laws are here to control people. It's a way to get back at the people who fucking don't want to be slaves. Because who does it hurt the most? Who are the most people in jail for drugs? Plain and simple. So why was it there? A way to quell revolution in the 70s or 60s. That's one of the reasons it was instituted.
Have you ever listened to Farrakhan before?
Who?
Farrakhan.
I don't know. Maybe.
You know, he's the head of the Muslims.
The what?
The American Muslims.
Okay.
You know, he's a real interesting dude. You should listen to him. Because he's not what a lot of the media portrays him to be.
No, again, there are sects of Muslims that actually want to help poor people and believe that society should be more equal. But again, just like every religion, it's used as a way to separate people and a way to consider one person holier than the other and deserving more of things.
Yeah, I wasn't really talking about his religious he speaks on a lot of different subjects
Uh-huh.
that are very interesting. His take on them are very interesting. He talks about AI and all that stuff.
Oh, dude, it's hard for me to read these messages, man.
Because they're so small,
Yeah, it's just I have
or
to
you
go
can't
back.
or you can't read.
I can't read. Wow, wow, what? Smoke allergy? Is he still there?
Smokeology.
I don't know.
Is that what you just said?
Mm-hmm. But 15 minutes, not bad.
No, that's cool.
Good lord.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it's wow because he agrees with you or me about the heroin thing.
Right.
Again, I'm not trying to say it's not hard. It's definitely like one of the hardest things people will ever deal with.
Well, addiction is hard anyway.
Yeah,
No matter what
been
it is, you're
dealing with
addicted
it my
to.
whole life. I'm still working on trying to figure out how to get out sugar out of my life in a way that. or
Well,
just to
are you?
Not to get it out, but at least maybe.
No, but are you?
Yeah.
So you don't ingest any sugar at all.
No, I'm saying I do ingest sugar, but I try to not. So my
You
ingestion.
try to keep an eye on the level of sugar you're ingesting.
I don't ingest with liquids anymore.
So what are you ingesting with sugar? You having desserts and stuff
Yeah,
like
it's
that?
eating stuff. Like I've
Oh,
had
okay.
ice cream. I'll eat even like certain things you eat. You got to be careful. Like they
Yeah.
add sugar to everything, so
Yeah, yeah.
it's in everything. But even like you can consider the pizza sugar. It's
To a
not,
certain degree, yeah,
yeah.
because it has
The bread,
ingredients
yeah.
that have sugar in
Yeah,
it.
the bread. There's no sugar in the bread. I don't add sugar to it, but the bread itself is sugar.
Sugar, yeah.
So it's like I'm never
Sugar
gonna get
and
rid of
salt.
it completely.
Yeah.
Well, salt's good for you.
Yeah, as long as it's not in the extreme.
Well, again, we don't put.
It's
enough-
not good for me.
It's not good for someone to eat certain processed foods because they're not using the right processing. They're just basically super salting it instead of salting it and letting the process happen.
Yeah, because they use salt as a preservative to a certain degree.
Yeah, it has been for forever. The salt feeds our fucking microbiome. Like, I mean,
Now again, there's another addiction.
what?
Salt and sugar.
Salt, again, is something you have to have. Sugar is not something you need.
Salt is something you have to have to a certain extent. There's a level of salt that's dangerous. People
Yes.
have diabetes,
It also depends on the type of
blood pressure, all of that.
You know why they have high blood pressure? Because they're eating a ton of processed food.
Well, that's not necessarily true with black people because we're predisposed because of our diets in the past. We're predisposed to it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we
but
we
they
have,
also
we have
live
to
in
watch
a world where most black people have to eat more processed food than regular food. So if basically again you go to Detroit, there's mostly a food desert. Most people are eating out of Dollar General. You know what you get fresh out of a Dollar General?
it. Nothing.
Water. You can get some Aquafina, some tap water from the other side of the country. So again, if that's all you're eating, that's all you can eat. You're never really eating good food. So it's not really
And
a
then-
good study.
And
There's
then when you're not
really
eating that, you're going to Little Caesars,
yeah,
McDonald's,
I know.
Popeyes.
That's the stuff I've got to
My
completely
eyes.
out. Which I have. I used to eat it every fucking day.
What?
Taco Bell.
Really?
Oh man, remember? You don't remember? Dude, I used to eat that every day.
Not that Taco Bell out, huh?
Yeah, I had to.
It was-
One, the pop. I used to drink a pop with it every day.
Ah.
So it was like I just had to get rid of the pop. And then I got rid of the pop. Now it's a matter of getting rid of the. Because again,
Oh yeah,
You can
pop.
have-
We call soda pop here for people listening that aren't from here.
oh, Coke, whatever. Mountain Dew, actually. It was always Mountain Dew. They have the best Mountain Dew. Them and 7-Eleven. It's like the perfect super
The
sugar ratio.
perfect morning
Sugar.
food.
Oh God, it was. Yeah. So I mean, I'm listening. Like I was listening to Huberman the other day, and he had a guy on that's talking about fasting, but it's more about just if you limit your food you eat at night, and you give yourself a 12-hour break, it helps with longevity.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah.
they gave like the mice got like 35% longer life than the mice who were allowed to eat all day.
Gorge.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's a matter of kicking that addiction. So when I'm high as fuck at 10 o'clock at night, I'm not eating a fucking goddamn fucking piece of cheese.
I don't eat a lot. I don't eat a lot at all. I've never been a big eater.
See, that's the difference. I have been.
Yeah, I've
It's
never been a big eater.
been my addiction. My addiction has been food. Like I smoked for a little bit. I never really liked alcohol, but food, pop, sugar. For one, I wasn't allowed to really have it. And then my dad fed us crap food, so it was like Hamburger Helper.
Yeah.
So it's just super processed bullshit. And once I got out, and then I didn't, like I knew how to cook, but I was cooking. So wanting to cook at home just wasn't, you know,
Yeah.
you don't want to do it. So then I ended up getting addicted like taco. Oh my God. I had such a bad addiction to the Burger King chicken sandwich. I swear to God.
I don't think I've never had a Burger King chicken sandwich.
The long one?
I've never had it.
Oh my God. With cheese, the mayo is what gets me. Because the chicken's good. It's got real nice saltness to it.
Uh-huh.
But the mayo is that perfect fat, creamy. Because that's the idea. That's
The condiment got you.
well, yeah. Because that's what
That was a perfect
in
condiment.
nature. Did you know that in nature, fat and sweet are never in the same place?
Really?
You can't find fat and sweet in the same
Growing
place.
in the same area.
Umami or whatever that flavor is, savory. You can't find it in the same thing. In
Oh, I got
nature anywhere.
Right.
You have to add you have to take the sweet
Add
from
one or the other.
some other things to add. Yeah, you have to combine them. And that's what humans are constantly trying to do because well, salt is what you need. The fat, you need the fat too because fat has shit in there that you need.
Yeah, there's good fat and there's bad fat.
You know, and you need the energy from the starch, the grain, because the grass basically takes the sun and turns it into food for us. Not very good food, because, fuck. If there was a God, he definitely would have made grass edible.
It is edible for some animals.
No, I'm saying, if you were designing this body, like if you, intelligent design, that whole thing, because you know intelligent design,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If that theory was real, then why the fuck wouldn't they make grass edible? Or the leaves of trees.
Check it out.
Why would you make it so that the most abundant things on the planet are completely inedible to the thing that you created? Instead, you have to make these other things that eat the shit for you so you can then eat it. Like, does that sound like a sound design? It's not very efficient. But, alright. What did they do, Rudy?
Subscribe and like, please.